Parliament tomorrow.
Okay, Dr. Dharinder Tayal, how do you respond to that?
I think some of the things that have been raised here, first of all, accountability. What is very interesting to note is that the accountability that was being asked for forever, even while Operation Sindoor was on by the leader of the opposition, the very youthful Rahul Gandhi ji, was only about how many Rafales shot down. Tell me that. He was told we did not lose any men, which should have been what was of essence. Right? Like Rajnath Singh ji said today, the results matter. When in education, results matter, not how many pens you used or lost. But their question was the question which they were asking on behalf of Pakistan. Tell me how many Rafales. He did not ask how many Pakistani air bases damaged. What was the damage to Pakistan, which was on every Indian's mind? Why was his mind and why was the Congress mind working in parallel, in tandem with Pakistan, is the question of accountability. The other thing, when they say about accountability, what is very, I hope my friend Mr. Saral would remember that Mani Shankar Iyer went to Pakistan and said, help me defeat Modi. To Pakistan, help me defeat Modi, that is the level of desperation. They also been talking about in the parliament about China in very loud voices, but let your viewers know that the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation has received crores of rupees from Chinese government and the Chinese embassy. So the MOU that Congress government has signed with China, they have not disclosed it yet. So let us put that thing aside. But yes, all compliments to the Indian forces who've done a tremendous job. And what we are witnessing today is not just a counter-terrorist operation. This is India's renewed doctrine of zero tolerance, cross-border accountability, and proactive deterrence. Operations like Sindoor and Mahadev aren't isolated events. Let's be very clear. They're part of a calibrated national security architecture under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi. So let's be very clear about it. The second thing which had been tom-tommed for long, that okay, you've done this, you've blasted the air bases, you've done that, but where are those people? Two things I want to say on that. One, we have found out where are those people. But when a mosquito comes and bites me, do I hunt for that specific mosquito? Or do I kill the breeding of the mosquito? The eggs, the larvae, everything, which is what the Indian government, the Indian forces, the Indian country did at that time, which should have been appreciated. But what came from Congress, somehow they've misunderstood the meaning of opposition. They're an alternative, they're not an opposition, but they've taken the word opposition so seriously that they do not realize when they start opposing the country itself. And they were opposing the country. Where are those three? Okay, today you know where one of them is. So what has been happening, and I appreciate what the general said, that it took 10 years for US to hunt down Osama bin Laden, and where was he found? But there has been something which has been going on across the world, across India, across Pakistan, and the Mr. Jaishankar, who was speaking just before you started the event, made it very, very clear on what India's new doctrine is. See what has been happening in the last so many days, whether it is Bhutto or all the other leaders of Pakistan are virtually groveling. Please speak to us. And the message given is very, very terse, straight. Blood and water shall not flow together. Terror and talks shall not happen together. That is the message. They're groveling today. So on one hand, without hurting the Indian economy, which is growing, which at this moment when companies are moving out of China, the world is looking at entering India rather than a long drawn thing. It was quick, it was fast, it was devastating.
Okay.
The kind of work that has been done by the Indian Armed Forces, hats off to them and hats off to the government, which supported them and provided them everything that it could be done.
Okay, all right. With that, I've run out of time.